Prior to performing the transfer, one should make these safety considerations. Beginners should always perform this transfer with two people, one person to manage the lift, while the other steadies the patient during the transfer. Prior to lifting the patient, always double check that all loops are securely on a hook. Always be aware of the arm and hooks, as the lift can easily swing and potentially strike the patient or objects in the area. The patient lies flat on their back. The sling is laid next to them, folded long ways, in small and tight folds in order to fit beneath the patient. The patient rolls to their side. The sling is then positioned beneath the patient, top of the sling aligning with the ears, and the U portion of the sling aligning with the hips. The patient rolls back and then rolls to the opposite side in order to untuck the sling. The sling is then checked for proper positioning, and the legs of the sling are brought underneath the patient's legs. Identify all sling loops and bring forward. If the patient is in a wheelchair, remove the leg rests and unbuckle the seatbelt. To place the sling, have the patient lean forward while you're monitoring for safety in front. Tuck the U portion of the sling into the wheelchair, aligning at the patient's hips. The patient leans back, and legs of the sling are placed beneath the patient's legs. The sling is checked for proper alignment, and all loops are brought forward. Position the lift in front of the patient. Lift fork should be open for stability, and legs should be locked once positioned. Place all loops on a hook. Lower loops should be crisscrossed to opposite hook. Upper and middle loops go to the same side hook. As loops are placed and throughout the transfer, the assisting person and patient should be monitoring to make sure loops maintain on a hook. Begin to lift, continually monitoring for position and safety. Bring the patient's feet around the lift arm rather than resting the feet against it. Lift until the patient's bottom is fully raised from the surface. At no time should the patient drag across or collide with any other surfaces. Once the patient is fully raised, unlock the lift and narrow the forks as needed. Move the patient to the desired location, one person managing the lift while the other monitors and studies the patient. Ensure the surface is clear of clutter, including seatbelts and blankets. Once you've reached the desired location, align the patient over the surface, lock the lift, and open the forks. Slowly rotate the patient to position the legs and manage the legs to avoid unnecessary injury. Lower the patient while monitoring for positioning and safety upon the surface. One person managing the lift while the other guides the patient into proper positioning. Prior to detaching the sling, do a final check for positioning, then unlock the lift and remove from above the patient, monitoring the sling and the hooks to ensure safety. The transfer is now complete, and the sling can be removed from beneath the patient. Complete sling removal in reverse order of sling placement.